What's up, BMW fans? Today I'm going to show you how to add a reverse camera on your BMW e90. This is a 2008 328i. I'm going to add a rear view camera and an Android system. I'll do another video of the Android system, but what I'm going to do today, on top of adding the camera, is actually replace this boot right here in Grommet. So I'm going to have to pull this trim off and then actually pull the pins out of the connectors and slip it back through. And I figure while I'm replacing this, I might as well run the video cable for that backup camera. So it's mostly just some trim you gotta pull out and then some connectors that we'll have to depin and rerun the wires. Not a whole lot to it, but a little tedious. So let's go ahead and get started. I already pulled out the clips for this panel right here. And all I'm really gonna do actually is just kind of pull this back so that I can fish the wires through. I'm gonna leave the wires, at least the video wire for the camera, hanging until another day when I install the rest of that Android and CarPlay system. So first thing I need to do though up here is pull all these out. Just get a trim tool, pop them out, not much to them, and then we'll get that trim piece off. To get the handle off right here, you just have to push in the center of it, push that back, and then this little cable piece right here will slip out. This white plastic piece will just pop out. There's some tabs right here, you just push on them, it'll pop right out. And then what I've done is I'm actually gonna leave these little mounts on the trunk, and I just cut with a razor blade, I cut that away. It'll be kind of obvious where the things land when I put it all back in, and then I'll retape them to those mounts rather than try to get those mounts through the grommet down here. So next thing to do, I'm gonna pry out the lights, and they're actually pretty easy to get out. You just kind of jam your tool in there. There we go, one out. Get the other one. Now to get the actual trunk button out, you have to kind of jam a pry tool down from the top. If you look closely, there's two clips. There's one right here and one right there. And once you get those free, you can kind of wiggle it out. And mine is all sticky and nasty. So I already disconnected the electrical connector from the back. You have good access, but take this thing out and I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and then put the new camera assembly in place. This is the actual kit that I got. It has the camera and the button. This was 40 or 50 bucks, but as you can see, we have a new camera and the button. So here's the new grommet and boot. I got this from FCP Euro. It's like 10 bucks. I'm gonna go ahead and run the video wire, like the RCA for the camera, through the boot first, and then I'll feed through the rest of this assembly. And kind of as I go, I'll determine if I need to depin the connectors or not. I don't know that I'll need to do that for all of them. I know I will for the large ones from the taillights. So here's the setup from the camera out. Now this has the connector on it for the trunk latch, but what you'll need to do is run your RCA, the video wire. That's already through the boot. So the other end will go to the interior of the car. And then the power right here, you've just got to connect the red to the red on the video wire and then connect the ground, the black wire, to this somewhere in the trunk. So I'll find a space for that. And then I'm just going to kind of tape these together and get them out of the way. But next up is to fish the rest of the wire through that. So I finally got the loom through the old grommet and boot. It comes out, I mean, it's kind of a pain. As you pull the pins out of the connectors like this, just pay attention to where they go in the connectors. Take a picture if you need. I'm now working to, I'm gonna tape these up. So kind of folding them back so that I only have the thickness of the loom in one blade at a time. So I'm gonna tape this all up and then fit it back into the new grommet. I've already got the video wire through the new grommet. So it's a matter of just fitting the rest of this through. All right, so I just got the loom through the grommet, and I ended up taping, if you look, I wrapped electrical tape around the whole length of the wiring loom, and then I taped a clothes hanger on one end so I could get something to yank. But it really helped actually with all that extra tape and then the silicone lubricant. It went through a lot easier than it came out. So that's the way to do it. Now to get the grommet back in place. So I put a little bit of painter's tape on the end right there, so I knew how far this needed to go back on. So now it's there. I'm gonna fit this back in place into the hole, and then I'm gonna start pulling off the additional electrical tape I put on. Got the grommet back in. You just push hard and you'll be able to squeeze it in there. So this is all back in place, and now it's a matter of just running all these shorter lengths of wire back through the top of the trunk. So I've now got the wiring loom back in place, and I left these plastic pieces, so I just re-taped them, as you can see, to the plastic piece again. So it's all back in the same spot. And the next thing to do is replace this white plastic piece. It'll clip in and get these back up to the license plate lights. So I just got the plastic piece back in, and then I zip tied the video cable here to the rest of the loom. So I got a zip tie right here, zip tie right there, and then the only thing left to do is attach this and this to the camera, and then I'll snap the camera in place and we'll be done. All right, so I just got the trim back on, got the camera in place now. Kind of hard to see there in the darkness, but everything is back together. The latch works. So now just to kind of put some of this final trim back in. Just got all the stuff cleaned up from running all those wires. And the last thing to do is replace the gas shocks, because these things are shot. So just get your flathead underneath the tab here. Well, that came flying off. So that one's off. I'm gonna do the same thing on the top. And now we can actually pull, they just pop right off. Got the new gas shocks here. These were like not even 20 bucks off Amazon. Well worth it, so you don't have to deal with your trunk falling on your hands. Now these are really easy to put on. All you have to do is just snap them into place. So you can see the clip is already in place on there. But just get the socket over the ball and just give it a hard push. So just got the new gas shocks in. They just snapped into place, and now let's give it a test. Way stronger than the old ones. Trunk closed, and hopefully it pops open easily now. Yeah, holds itself up. Job done. All right, if you have any questions, guys, post them up in the comment section. Always happy to help. And as always, thanks for watching.